video about a guy.
I'm Cooper Rossum. I'm a student at Georgia College State University. And upstairs at Blackbird Coffee is my art show, Fatal Attractions. It's 5 pieces, and this is the talk for it. It's 5 pieces. They're Mark David Chapman, Gabriel Princip, who shot Franz Ferdinand, John Wilkes Booth, who shot Abraham Lincoln, if you know who that is, and Marvin Gaye's dad, who shot his son. And then the 5th piece is completely unrelated, and it's another project I did for a class. And it's just an etching of some guys sitting in the rain, standing in the rain. And my mom, who I gave it to for Christmas, said, "Hey, you should put this in your show." And I said, "Okay." And because she said she was going to pay for it. And so she bought the framing, so that's why it's there.
Why did you choose to do those specific people?
I spent about 3 weeks looking for assassins, and specifically well-known people, because it was supposed to be famous people who were in the public's eye and everybody knows everybody about, and then basically usually some random person ended that. And the only reason that random person is famous is because of the person they shot. So essentially all their portraits are composed of these people, and it's, I guess you could say it's kind of like a screw you to the person. They're only living on to the person they killed. I know I hate art talk, but that's actually kind of what it is. So I picked them because they were just really well-known, musicians or politicians or something like that.
Which one's your favorite and why?
That's a really good question. My favorite piece, well, the light box is really cool. I like that one. That was the first one I did, because that's the Mark David Chapman, John Lennon. I like that one because it has both pictures, the victim and the assaulter. Plus, that one took like 2 weeks to make, and it's just kind of, you can't miss it when you walk in and see it. It just kind of emits light. Light's really awesome. So I really like that piece. I like the Gabriel Princip one because it's the etching, which is a zinc plate that's been dipped in acid, and that was just fun. I burned myself, not fun, on nitric acid, and I think I like the way it came out. The medium for that, the actual piece is supposed to be what you printed on, but I like the metal itself after it's been worked more than the piece itself. So I embossed it, and it's like a stamp, which is kind of cool. So I like that one too.
So which was your favorite assassin?
It's a horrible question. I mean, it's a great question, but it's like, I have to admit I like people killing people. John Lennon, I'm a huge Beatles fan, so I like that one because I like the story behind it, because Mark David Chapman was a huge fan of the Beatles, but he was a little insane. And earlier in the day, he got an autograph from John Lennon outside the Dakota building, which is where 3 or 4 hours later he actually, shot him. So I like that story because it's a fan, it's someone who appreciates the man's music, but in the end he shot him because he felt like John Lennon was a hypocrite. And when they found him, he just dropped the gun, sat down on the sidewalk, had a book of Catcher in the Rye, which he said was his, mimicked his life. And it's just a really bizarre story. It's the most fantastical story. It doesn't make the most sense. John Wilkes Booth just kind of walked in, had his political reasons. Marvin Gaye's dad shot him because of money disputes. These are all like real world things. And then Mark David Chapman just lost it and killed someone he idolized, which was really interesting to me.
Are you going to continue to do the same work? Are you going to do more pieces?
Yeah, I like it because it's kind of superficial in an aspect. Because if you know who the people are, like my uncle didn't get it. He got really mad. He's a huge Beatles fan, and he saw the picture of Mark David Chapman, and he kind of went off on me. He said, "Why would you have this picture of Mark David Chapman? He shot John Lennon." He just never understood it, even after I explained it to him that it's actually a piece about John Lennon. It's it's more about the text than anything. So I like that aspect of it. That if you don't look into it, it's gonna piss you off. You're not gonna understand. So I like that. So I thought about doing a series about musicians, writers, and artists who've either been killed or overdosed or anything, and doing prints or portraits of them. I thought that'd be interesting. So, I mean, it's probably going to continue. It was supposed to be 12 pieces, so. Yes?
How does the text relate to each of the images?
The text is the biography of the person they killed. So the image is comprised of the life of the victim. And it reads, I didn't just take a bunch of text and throw it over this picture and cut it out, and then you have an unlegible print. It's all legible. It took, the shortest one was 8 hours, and Mark David Chapman one took like 3 weeks, because I didn't know what I was doing. But it's all just like putting it into Photoshop and just shift space, shift space, and it just takes forever. So it's totally legible, and you can read it left to right, except for the zinc plate, because the acid kind of eats it up. But, yes.
Hey.
Hey, you.
If there's one thing you could change going back about the pieces, what would you change? Or if there's something you kind of want to tweak about it, what would it be?
A lot of them are really uneven. So, especially the wood board, when I printed it, because you only get one shot for a lot of these things, and it has to be perfect, or it's a week's worth of work just basically thrown away. So that one's uneven. I don't know if I'd really change anything. I like the way they all look. The Marvin Gaye one was supposed to be framed, and this elaborate wood frame, and it never got done in time, so it wasn't supposed to be up. And then Chris just told me to throw it up there. So I actually like it better the way it looks now. So I guess I wouldn't change that one. I don't know, I would have started about 3 months ago when I was told I had the show. And yeah, and bought supplies a lot more effectively because I don't have any money. But I don't know, I like the way they all turned out. And I don't know if I'd change anything, except add more to them.
Are you going to continue to do a variety of different media with them? You said you've got 12 in total, or that you're aiming for.
Yeah, if I did the musicians in that line, they'd be poster prints. Like the first one I ever did was a straight up poster, printed out on huge paper. It was like 22 by 36 inches. It's enormous. I like the way that looked. It's extremely durable, and you can carry it and put it on your wall, and it looks like a poster. So I think that might do it, or something with spray paint and stenciling. Maybe a mural. I don't know. I've never done a mural. Why not? So.
How would you feel about like selling prints? Like.
Yeah, man. If you want one, talk to me.
But like make it like more than just the one that's there. Yeah. Would you sell like a series of them, or would you?
When I first made the Chapman one, hold on. And I was walking around showing it off, being really pretentious. Chapman, oddly enough, who works next door, was like, dude, you should sell these. And then some kid at Chick-fil-A, I was working on one, was like, I'll pay $150 for that. So, yes, if you have $150, gladly talk to me. But I thought about that. I think they're really neat. They're for fans of an artist or a musician. I think it's something more than just a face and a portrait. It's deep, I guess. And so yeah, I'd sell the hell out of them.
Will you tell us what your major is?
Yeah, my major's not art. My major is advertising, which is the opposite of art, and they hate each other. So my minor is digital art, and I did this in a digital class last semester, and it just kind of went from there. So it's totally unrelated at this point to school. It's just me trying to spend as much money as possible for Blackbird. And I did that.